Okay guys, look, it's your boy DJ Nerdy and I'm back and I'm black and I'm better than ever, hot like the weather, and you already know we stay keeping it together. And I am here with another video. In this video, like I said on my previous video, I will be talking about alternate college options, okay? I have my bulletin with me again and we're gonna go straight down the list. But speaking of college, I know everybody just got back to school this semester and I wanna wish you all a very successful semesters on all your endeavors, on all your classes. I hope you have a very progressive semester. So, with that being said, let's get straight into the video. My guy, okay, so the first thing I want to do to really help explain this video and that y'all will understand what we're going for is the difference between jobs and careers. That's a big one. People need to understand the difference between jobs and careers. When you think of jobs, you should think of jobs as apartments and you should think careers as homes, okay? Careers as home, jobs as apartments. Jobs are short-term, careers are more long-term. Careers provide benefits, careers provide growth opportunities. Jobs provide income to get you to where you need to be. It's a plan A to get you to plan B, right? Jobs is something that usually people change every 6 months or usually don't stay with for longer than years, but careers are something that people usually stay with because they see growth and they see benefits and they usually care about you more in careers than they do in jobs. Because in most like careers, it's harder for you to get replaced, and jobs are much easier for you to get replaced. All right, so that is what you need to think about. So what you should be looking for is getting into career as soon as possible because you want to start building repertoire with that business. You want to start putting stuff on your resume. It looks better. You want to start getting those benefits as soon as possible. But of course, some careers are much harder to get into than others. But not all careers require degrees. Not all careers require degrees. And that brings me to one. Finding careers that don't require degrees. A lot of one and a big example I like to give people are federal government jobs. Federal government jobs are jobs that are careers that have a lot of growth opportunities, a lot of benefits, and they pay a lot of money and they allow you to advance in the company. So I definitely highly encourage people who are not going to college to consider federal government jobs. And you can find a lot of good federal government jobs on usajobs.com. I highly recommend that website, usajobs.com. Type in entry level and then you will see a list of jobs that are qualifying and that are really good jobs that will look really good on the resume that pay a lot of money. Another thing, a lot of people don't really know this, but even being a police officer does not require a degree. So, I'm not encouraging you to be a police officer if you don't want to be, but I'm just saying there are a lot of jobs that don't require degrees that people make full careers off and live off of pretty comfortably. So consider those and look into those, all right? Step number 2, what I highly encourage people, if you're not considering going to college, think about trades. Yes, trades, okay? Trades. You have a ton of types of trades. You could be a trade for mechanic, technician, MRI tech, dental hygienist, paramedic, EMT, and the list goes on and on and on. Trades is a big one that I feel like a lot of people should know about and consider because people don't really start thinking about trades until they get much older. But imagine this, straight out of high school, you start going straight into learn your trade. You can learn your trade in 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. You can learn a trade in less than a year. And then you will have now be certified in that trade, eligible for jobs that qualify for that trade. Great things about trades is if you get a trade, you get it in 4 times faster than you will college, and it's 4 times cheaper than you will college. You pay month to month, and you can obtain your trade in less than 1 year. And then jobs are looking for people with trades. You know why? Because having a trade sets you aside from someone who doesn't have a trade. All right. Imagine if you're applying for a job and you say, "Well, I'm qualified in this," and then the next person next to you isn't. You look more valuable. That's the whole point. You want to make yourself look more valuable than the person to your left. That is what you're trying to do. And having a trade on your name puts you 1 step ahead than the person on your left. Also, some jobs don't even want you unless you have that qualification, which is even better too, because now you know, oh, well, this job isn't even considering people who doesn't have the trade. So now I'm definitely better and I'm definitely more qualified for it. And like I said, you can obtain a trade in much less time. And not only can you obtain a trade in much less time, once you get one trade, there's other trades that you can get again to put on top of that trade, and then you will have raised how much you should be paid. Your qualifications have now increased, so you should be getting paid more. And and what's so great about this is You can obtain this. So imagine you graduate high school at 18, you get your trade at 19, and now you're already working in that field that you wanted to do. And like I said, they have trades as mechanics, technicians, MRI tech. There's a lot of hospital trades that you can obtain. You can get trained for being a dental hygienist. People usually go to school thinking that they need to go to school for a lot of the things that you just need a trade for, and a lot of people don't know that. And let's also piggyback to the people who are in college doing STEM degrees, right? It's still good to consider trades. Imagine this, biology major. You want to go to medical school. You know that the more things you could put on your medical school application, it will make you look better and make you more qualified than the person to your left. So imagine you tell medical school, not only was I in school for biology, but I also went to trade school while I was in school for biology, obtained my trade, now I have my degree, and when I obtained my trade, I started working in my field with that trade already. So not only do I have a certificate, I have my degree, and I already have work experience, and I haven't even started medical school yet. Imagine how good that's going to look on your resume. Imagine how good that's going to look on your application. So I highly encourage more people to look into trades. I think trades is great for people who are not in college. You can make a lot of money. All right, and for the next one, everybody probably knew that I was going to mention this one. Everybody probably heard this one. This one is a pretty big one. A lot of people dislike it. Some people like it, but I definitely have to mention it because I highly recommend it myself. But before I get into that, I must say, I have to legally say that this video would not have been made possible without our sponsors, and I also have to give them a time to do the thing. So without further ado, here's a word from our sponsors. Do you ever feel like you just don't fit in? Or do you feel like an outcast? Do you ever feel like you just don't relate with today's society? I would like to introduce to you a brand called Nerdsq. This brand has been changing the lives of millions all across the nation. Look, I want you to think of a brand whose sole purpose is to create graphic apparel to allow individuals like yourself to express your unique and vibrant personalities. Did you think of it? Did you think of it? Now here it is. I am literally sweating. I'm hot off of the energy that this brand is radiating right now. The energy is phenomenal right here. Has a team of professionals creating graphic apparel with stitching like this one embroidered straight into the fabric for you to express your uniqueness. From sweatshirts like that one all the way to anime tees. Look at the eyes, look at the details, look at the hair, look at it. Nerdsq.com. Be yourself. Alright, now that that's over with, let's get into it, okay? Let's run down what we went through so far. We went through the difference between jobs and careers and highly encouraging people to look at getting careers and starting them as soon as possible. I mentioned a lot of federal government jobs are really good careers to choose from. Even working at the post office is a federal government job, and the post office has a lot of benefits and a lot of growth opportunities that more people should think about and consider, alright? But there's also many other federal government jobs. Next one, we talked about trades. We talked about how quickly you could get a trade, how valuable it is to get a trade. You want to set yourself up to make yourself look better than the next person to your left because jobs want to see why they should choose you over that person. And with a trade, you definitely put yourself one step ahead, all right? And now for the third one is, without further ado, the military. Yes, the military. I'm sure a lot of people know this one. This is the most common one, but the military is a great route. Now, I will say this, a lot of people, the military is not for everybody. We understand that. Just how we understand that college isn't for everybody. However, you know what I want to speak on? You and I know, our parents know, the whole school system know that college isn't for everybody, yet they still only give us college as an option. They don't really mention many other options. So they're going to tell you in one sentence, college is not for everybody, and then in the next sentence, expect everybody to go to college. Let's stop doing that. Let's change that stigma that everybody has to go to college, even though we know that college is not for everybody. And the same thing for the military. The military is not for everybody, but it is for a lot of people, and I had to put it on this list. You can join the military in every single branch. You have Army, you have Air Force, you have Navy, you have Marines, and you have the National Guard. And then also all 4 of those branches that I named, you also have the Coast Guard, which a lot of people forget about. But also all those 4 names, you actually have the Army Reserves, you have the Marine Reserves, you have the Navy Reserves, you have the Air Force Reserves. So you can even go part-time or you could go full-time. If you go part-time, now I wouldn't consider that a career, but I would consider that a second source of income. You can also deploy, you can also hop on missions and make other sources of income through the Army Reserves, Marine Reserve, and Air Force Reserves, blah, 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 reserves, right? So the Air Force is a great way if you want to build up multiple sources of income, because I definitely don't encourage you to put all your eggs in one basket. So if you can manage to go to work and go to school and do the Army Reserves, many people do it. And then of course you have a lot of school benefits, and imagine how great that looks on your resume. So it's something to consider. Now I definitely have to make a completely other video to go over all the benefits of the military and all the cons of the military. For those of you who don't know, I am currently in the military, so I'm pretty knowledgeable on a lot of things with it. I'm in the Army Reserve. That's the route that I chose. I've been enjoying it. I'm liking it. It's been beneficial for me, and I would love to share you the pros and cons and what I wish I knew before I joined and what I know now. But I do want to say that in this video, the military, look, you can work as basically anything. You could go to the military as a chef. You could go to the military as a mechanic. You go to the military as a photographer, a videographer. You go to the military as a musician. The military has a band. So a lot of people think when they think of military, they straight think of infantry. But I'm trying to encourage you all that you can go to the military for so many different things. Graphic design, so many different things. So many different things. So don't just feel like, oh, if I join the military, I have to go straight into infantry. No. Widen your horizon, learn more. And I will also want to point this out. A lot of times when you hear negative things about the military, you hear it from people who are not in the military, okay? Speak to someone who's actually in the military and hear what their thoughts are, okay? And let's go to the next one before I start sounding like a recruiter. The next one is internships. Internships. Now, on my last video, I talked a lot about network. Well, I didn't talk a lot about network, but I kind of hinted at people saying they want to go to college to network. This is what internships are for. Internships are for networking, and also learning trades are for networking, getting into career fields in the first one. So really all this is networking. All networking is getting out your house and being around people who are having the same interests as you. That's all networking is. And you don't have to go to college. College is the only place you're going to see people who have the same interests as you. So all these other forms are meeting new people who are doing great things. So let's talk about internships though, for networking purposes, right? Internships, in case you are interested in arts, you might not feel like you need to go to college to get a degree for arts. And this is why networking is important, okay? If you're a photographer and you're going to school for film and media, let's say you want to do freelance photography, you want to take pictures of people, models, sets, events. These places don't ask you, oh, can I see your degree in film and media? Can I see your degree in photography? No, what they ask you is, can I see your work? Can I see your portfolio? Can I see what pictures and events you have taken for before? So what that means is you need work experience. You don't need degrees for these things. You don't need degrees to show that you're a good artist. You don't need a degree to show that you're a good photographer, a good videographer. You just need work experience, okay? A lot of times y'all just need work experience. Y'all going to school and y'all don't need school. And then going to school for arts and film and media and all that type of things makes no sense, because the first 2 years of school anyways, you're not learning nothing about what you're doing anyways, and you're already taking out loans. Why not go straight into something that's helping you learn what you need to learn right now? YouTube University is a good place to start, and internships is a great place to start too, because it puts you around people who have those interests and gives you that experience and gives you that networking opportunities. So that is another avenue. So we went through jobs versus careers. I highly encourage people to do careers if you don't want a degree. We talked about trades. We talked about the military. We talked about internships. Last but not least, we have licenses. All right, licenses. I highly encourage people to try to get a license. All right. Certain type of licenses that I think are great. Real estate license. You don't need to go to college to become a real estate agent, but you can go to college for real estate, which is upsetting because you don't need a real estate degree to study real estate. However, there are such things as real estate degrees. Who knows why? You can go straight and learn and obtain your real estate license. It's a training course. It's a course that you pay for. You learn it in much less time than you will going to college, and you'll be surrounded by people who are doing real estate, and you would already start working as a real estate agent at a much younger age. And I can also assure you that a lot of these jobs, it's much easier and faster to learn it doing the job than learning about how to do the job. So what I mean by that is to get straight into it as soon as you can and go through your ups and downs, because you will learn off of experience more than you will learn off of a textbook. And that is facts, all right? Another type of license you could get is an insurance license. And this piggybacks off of trades. You want something that makes you look more qualified than the person on your left. If you get an insurance license, you can start working at places like State Farm, Allstate, and these are all jobs that are really careers that you could grow in the company. And with your license, you are now more qualified than the person who doesn't have one. And that's all life is about. You want to have more qualification than the person to your left. So that is my top 5 alternative options to college. We talked about careers that don't need degrees, a lot of federal government jobs. We talked about trades. There's so many trades out there that could get you started at a very young age. We talked about joining the military, okay? If you're going to do the Army Reserve route or the reserves route, just be prepared that you're going to need other sources of income as well. But if you went the active duty route, that is a full-time job, and it is a great job. And in the Army Reserves, you can also... There's so many things about the military that a lot of people don't know that I'm going to save that for a whole different video. I don't want to get carried away because my mind is just going all over the place. Then you have internships. That is for, highly encourage people to check out internships, whether it's paid or unpaid. And don't be afraid of the unpaid ones, okay? All that means is you might have to have a job in the meantime as you have an internship. And then you have obtaining a license in real estate, in insurance, in whatever. There's so many. Okay, and then I just want to throw in a quick thing about entrepreneurs, okay? As you all know, I am currently an entrepreneur. I'm trying to figure this out. If you're an entrepreneur starting from the ground up, starting with nothing, that means your parents didn't give you no money, you didn't have no loans, you don't really have any entrepreneurial experience besides the fact that you have a great business idea and you feel like you are hungry to pursue it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, all right? I'm starting this from the ground up, okay? I didn't have no loans. I was working when I used the money that I get from my other sources of income to help fund this, okay? I say all that to say is, some people say, I don't want to go to college because I want to be a straight entrepreneur. And I just want to tell you, you're doing your business a disservice by not getting other sources of income, because you want to be well off, you want to be comfortable, and you want to use that money to fund your business. Use the money from your work and from your other sources of income to put into your business, to invest in your business. So all these other alternatives are great to have to fund your business, and hopefully in the future the money that you take from there will push your business to where it needs to be, for where you don't need these. But to just say, oh, I'm just gonna go straight into my entrepreneur business and not have any other source of income or pursue anything else is doing yourself and your business a disservice. I highly don't encourage it at all. I highly don't. All right. Whew. So I hope this video was informational. My next video, I might talk about the military. I might talk about introducing myself and talking about all the other crazy things I do, because I know there's some people who want to know, well, what do you do outside of Nerdsq? Since that's not the only thing you do, I want to hear your life story, and I'm glad to share it because I want us to learn together. I've been through a lot of ups and downs. I learned from my failures, and then I learned from other people's failures, and I try not to make the same mistakes. All right, so I want to close this video off real quick because I don't want to get myself carried away. But thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, please subscribe and share with your friends. Until next time, stay nerdy.